Hey Strong Mom Society. So today we are going to work on coordinating that diaphragmatic breath with some movements in our upper body. So I'm going to start with an exercise on my belly on the ground. Obviously, if you are no longer laying on your belly, I'm going to give you a modification for that. But for the rest of you, go ahead and start laying down, face down, and just stack your forehead on top of your hands and close your eyes and start to feel that belly breath as it rises and falls out of the floor. For those of you not lying on your belly yet, I want you to come to a wall and you're gonna take your exercise here. So you're gonna line those elbows up and I want you to just breathe. And as you exhale, I want you to pull your shoulders down your back. Feel a little bit of activation through your shoulder blades. And this is where you're gonna do this work, is just pressing into the wall. Elbows are lined up with your shoulders. You breathe out. You feel your armpits drop down, long neck. So we're not gonna move the arms, we're just gonna stay here and breathe. Everyone on your belly, I want you to take your hands out from underneath your forehead and drop them down to the floor, down by your hips. Palms facing up to the ceiling. And as we exhale, I want you to think of scooping your belly button off the ground, and we're gonna lift the upper body, really reach your fingertips down towards your toes, find that scapular activation. We're gonna hold here for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your forehead down, turn your head to one side. Find that diaphragmatic breathing again, where belly extends down into the floor. Exhale, you're gonna scoop your belly off the floor, lift the upper body, pull those fingertips down towards your feet. Don't look up with your head. I want you to keep a long line from head to tail. 2, 1, come down, turn your head so the opposite ear is down on the floor. Take a big breath in. On your next exhale, scoop your core muscles in towards your midline, lift up, find that scapular activation right here in the center of the back. Long line from head to tail. 3, 2, 1, turn opposite ear down to the floor. And one more time, big exhale, scoop your belly off the floor, lift up, find that reach, scapular hold here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Place your hands underneath. If you're on the wall, come down into a quick child's pose. We're gonna extend those arms out. Breathe in. Feel that belly drop between the thighs. Take your knees as wide as you need to go. And then breathe out. We're gonna roll over to our backs and you're gonna come down, place those feet underneath you. And we have done glute bridges here before with the breath. So now we're gonna mix it up a little bit and we're gonna do what's called an 80-20 glute bridge. So that means that I'm gonna put 80% of my weight into one foot or one heel, 20% into the other. So as I lift up, instead of my hips being straight with equal weight here, I'm just gonna shift. My hips aren't gonna shift very much, but the weight that I have down into this foot is 80% over here, 20% here. So you feel a lot more glute activation on that side that you're putting the 80% into, and then lower down. So coordinate this with your breath. Where's your inhale? Where's your exhale? You're trying to keep this breath out of your upper chest and shoulders. Find a little bit of scap activation. We just turned those scaps on. That scap activation is really important for all the pregnancy, postpartum life. It's a big contributor to how we hold our posture and move throughout the day. So I like to focus on it on every single one of my training sessions. So you're really feeling that weight from your heel into that glute, getting that belly on and off. We're gonna take 3 more here. I wasn't counting, but aim for about 10 on each leg. 2, last one. And then come down and you're gonna shift so 80% of your weight is into the opposite heel. So I'm gonna take a breath into prep and then exhale, squeezing into, now I'm in my right glute. I'm finding that line energetically from my heel up the back of my leg into my sits bone. I'm feeling that right glute squeeze more than the left as I lift up. And I'm really focusing on Where's the inhale? Where's the exhale? So remember, with this workout, your marker for success is that diaphragmatic breathing. Even if you don't feel that glute, even though we're trying to train that here, doesn't matter right now. I want you to make sure that the breath is connected to the movement. Let's do 2 more here. Big breath in, big breath out. If you are really pregnant and uncomfortable on your back here, obviously you're gonna skip this exercise, but you should be okay as long as you're up and down on that incline, even if you do tend to get a little nauseous here. And then I want you to roll over to your side, push up onto all 4s. If you've got some wrist issues, you're gonna pop up onto your fists. But again, finding that scapular support here is gonna help alleviate some of those wrist issues that we tend to get into. Now I'm gonna give you 2 options. Actually I'm gonna give you 3 options. 1 is just to stand here and work on breathing. So you're just holding this position, getting the belly turned on and off with your breath. Option 2 is to go into your limb play, where you're lifting opposite arm and knee, or maybe you're going into full bird dog. So that's kind of your intermediate level up, playing with the breath coordinated with that. And then the more advanced option is to tuck those back toes. We're gonna lift up on our exhale, really deeply engage those core muscles. So I want you to imagine that if you're pregnant, you're pulling the baby into your body. If you're postpartum, I want you to pull your entire core, like you're zipping from your pubic bone to your rib cage into your body. As you breathe out, you're gonna lift and hover those knees, hug that belly in. This is a belly that's not engaged. You see how it's pressing out and down? I don't want that. I want you to hug those core muscles in, because that pressure out and down is what starts to cause that abdominal separation. And if you have some separation, that pressure out is gonna make it separate more. So you're gonna hug muscles in, lift and hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, extended exhale. As you lift, hug those core muscles in, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then one more time, big breath in. If you can't control this core pressure, come up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I wasn't able to finish that sentence. You're gonna stick with that limb play that we talked about at the beginning. Sit back in child's pose. That one is a doozy. That one is the one that I use before I head into any longer workout to just make sure that my core is revved up and ready to go. Turning on that diaphragmatic breath. Ooh, and getting yourself back up. So if you have some weights, you can grab a weight. You don't need to use any weight at all. I'm actually gonna grab my water bottle here for this next exercise, but I want you to come down onto your side and put your head in the crook of your elbow. The reason I don't want you up here is because this changes the shape of your cervical spine. There's a little bit of tension here in the neck. It's really hard to hold that engagement here. So we're gonna make a nice long line from head to tail. With that weight, or nothing at all in your hand, I'm probably gonna drop this at some point because this actually is pretty heavy. I want you to put your arm at a 90-degree angle. And I want you to inhale ribs and belly. Exhale, all you're gonna do is rotate that arm up to the ceiling. Try not to put a crook or a kink in your wrist here. You're trying to maintain some wrist engagement. And then you're thinking about where's your inhale, where's your exhale. And I'm thinking a ton right now about my right scap. So the arm isn't just kind of muscling through. I'm working on that rotator cuff. I'm working on that downward scap engagement and thinking about where's your inhale, where's your exhale. Yep, that's about all I'm gonna do with that, and I'm gonna head down to no weight at all. Doesn't look like it's much of an exercise at all, but it actually does really work these muscles. We're gonna take 3 more. 3, 2, and last one. Good, and then we're gonna flip over to the other side. So you're welcome to do this with weight or no weight. Bring yourself down. Again, lining yourself from head to tail. We're in the crook of our elbow here. We're gonna start with that arm at that 90-degree angle. Open up the chest muscles so we're not collapsing. Here's your inhale, exhale on that rotation. Belly out as you breathe in. You can pull your core muscles in towards you as you breathe out. Inhale and exhale. And as I said in the last video, this isn't to create a ton of burn. This workout is training. This is training that mind to muscle connection. We're gonna finish this off with no weight, which means I can go a little deeper with that rotation as well. And one more. Good. And then bring yourself up to all fours again. We are gonna continue to work the coordination of our breath with our upper body with some push-ups or a version of a push-up. So you're gonna take what you need for your body here. Option one is to just hold here with the knees slightly extended behind you. So I even have a little bit of a pike in my butt here. I'm trying to keep my shoulders on top of my wrists, and I'm just gonna breathe. This is all about managing your core pressure. So if you are in your second or third trimester, you have a lot of downward pressure in your belly, maybe you're just here and breathing. But if you feel good enough, you can walk those knees back into a little bit of a plank, or really trying to get an incline from head to tail and practice your diaphragmatic breathing. Now, if you can really coordinate that breath here and handle a push-up, you're welcome to do this on your feet as well. You're gonna figure out where's your inhale, where's your exhale. Deeply engaging those core muscles, so either hugging the belly towards you, the baby towards you, as you breathe out. I want you to give me about 3 more push-ups. The other thing I want you to do, keep going, is think about this scapular engagement as you come down. So as you push down, you're not pushing up into your neck. So maybe that means that you don't bend as far. Give me one more. Nice big breath in. Exhale. Deeply engage those core muscles. And we're also looking for activation at the front of the chest or the pecs. So the last exercise that we're gonna go into is down on the forearms. So I want you to station those elbows right underneath your shoulders. Walk your knees back so you feel a little bit of demand on your core, but your butt's still in a little bit of a pike. This is your safety zone. You can breathe in here. Think of opening, releasing on that inhale. And then as you exhale, I want you to push your pelvis forward. You're coming, bring your weight onto your arms, and you're gonna zip up the front of the core. This is your breath out. This is your breath, this is your breath in. This is your breath out. Deeply engaging those core muscles. So we're going in and out of a pelvic tuck. Trying to find that scoop up the front of the abdominal wall. And we're also thinking about our scapular engagement here because we don't want this to get into the neck and shoulders. Give me about 3 more. Inhale, release, deep belly breath. Exhale, hug those core muscles in, push the pelvis through, find your scapular engagement down. Last 2. And last 1. Good, and then you can recover here in child's pose one more time. Chest down, knees wide, belly expands on the inhale. Think about relaxing your pelvic floor here. And then you can bring yourself up, go through a few arm stretches if you need to. Pull that shoulder down away from the ear, stretch that arm across, take it over to the other side. Still trying to maintain that deep belly breath even at the end of your workout. And drop that arm behind. And we're gonna take one more, other side, and we are done for the day.